I can find some langos. Up and at 'em. Budapest. You've probably already been here. If not, you definitely know someone who has. It's that kind of city. The kind of city people always tend to bring up in conversations when talking about Europe. In fact, and probably not surprisingly, I've never been to a place where I fleetingly heard as many American accents while walking about as in this town. So screw it, I'm here. But I'm only here for 36 hours. Is that too little time? Absolutely. Am I a moron for planning this itinerary? Only time will tell. So let's get to it. In case you weren't aware, Budapest is a tale of two cities. You have the quieter, hilly Buda side, and the urban, touristy, and all-around more fun Pest side, intersected by the mighty Danube River and its plethora of corny riverboat rides. Naturally, since I don't have dentures, I gravitate my experience here on the Pest side of life. Now it's important to note that there's different districts here, but for the purpose of getting straight to the point, I'd say you want to stay in either District 5 or 7, and as close to Díkferenc-tér, I really hope I said that right, station, as it's the city's most central point. Walking is very much a staple of European culture. Tinier, more dense cities, cafes, and places to gorge to fuel up your walk, adorning just about every corner. Budapest is no different. But there are 21st century innovations in mall security transport that can bypass the culture and make sure you conserve quite a few calories. So Budapest is a very pedestrian-friendly city, but if you're a lazy American like I am, then you get yourself one of these segways. They're really convenient to use, so I'd suggest using them. If riding around like Paul Blart isn't exactly your thing, I suggest taking your aching feet to District 7 and walk around the Gozsdu Udvar. It's basically a complex of 7 buildings interwoven with 6 courtyards that are crammed with cafes, bars, and even arcades, I suppose. If you'd rather spend your day paying way too much for clothing or souvenirs, you can walk back to District 5 and walk down Vaci Street. Just make sure you know what the exchange rate is from your currency before you flip out that your goulash costs 1,500 forints. For now, I'm perfectly content doing wheelies in front of a church. Way too much fun. Camera guy's really pissing me. He's like, stop. I can't. I'm like a child. So by now, you get the picture. Budapest is a pretty little city, that it's perfect for endless amounts of B-roll. So seeing that it's all cutesy, certainly there must be endless historical things to see, which of course wouldn't be jam-packed with Nikon-wielding tourists, especially in the summertime. No, of course not. If you must know, one of those historical places you should visit, even if just out of convenience to get somewhere else, is the famous national landmark, the Chain Bridge, keeping Buda and Pest friends with benefits since 1849. It's Hungary's version of the Brooklyn Bridge, but probably way more important in their eyes. It's also the most scenic route to make your way towards another Budapest landmark, the Buda Castle, located over the Danube, across said chain bridge, and right smack as soon as you get to the Buda side of town. The castle, seeing how it's perched up on a hill, takes a hike to get up to. So if you're looking to conserve the calories you gained eating that goulash, there's a not-so-convenient funicular that'll take you to the top. That's of course if you love the standing around all day option. Me, I'm very much opposed to lines, so I decide to hike my way up. Up top, you'll find panoramic views of the river and the Pest side of the city, as well as the always touristically appealing Changing of the Guards. But you know, this isn't really my thing. It's truly a monumental building, but with all the crowds and all, I just undoubtedly have some mixed emotions. I know, this is against my better judgment. It was not my plan. I would never come here on my own, but you know what? Every local said I should come here. They said, come to the castle. They said, see the castle. I'm here, and I mean, it's cute. Who am I kidding? This is just not what I do. If crowds, expensive souvenirs, and selfie sticks aren't your thing, I suggest hopping on over to District 6 and taking a mid-afternoon stroll through Heroes Square and the adjacent ever-delightful City Park. Always a peaceful place to reflect and be thankful you're not currently riding the funicular. Tired from all the walking and genuinely needing to unwind, I go to St. Stephen's Basilica and engage in my very favorite thing to do when I'm in Europe. Sip coffee at an outdoor cafe. Yep, this is way more my pace. Good espresso. Nice view. Yeah. I could do this for hours. I will do this for hours. As my layover in Budapest approaches its final hours, it's only right that I end it tumbling out of one of its more unique contributions to nightlife. A ruin bar is a relatively new concept, often a derelict building, sometimes an unused outdoor space that is transformed into a grimy drinking establishment, usually complete with old tasteless furniture and serving the cheapest of beers. In essence, a hipster's wet dream. And you cannot come to Budapest and not walk through the wonderfully scuzzy halls and rooms of its very first ruin bar, the glorious Szimpla Kert, located in District 7's old Jewish quarter. So Szimpla Kert, basically the oldest ruin bar in Budapest. It's chock filled with internationals. You're not really going to find any Hungarians. Not exactly that kind of place. Although you will find a lot of Americans, so if you're in the mood to talk to somebody from, say, Montana or Louisiana, this is the place. Nonetheless, it's damn good, and it's kind of must-see here in Budapest. Get yourself a Trapani beer while you're at it. It's more than a ruin bar. It's an institution rooted in all things over the top. From molecular-themed cocktail rooms to its narrow passages and thrift shop decor, the place surely looks like the inside of Norman Bates' brain. And I'm all about it. Time's up for me here in Budapest. So what can really be said about such a dense city in such a stretched time? I suppose if there's anything to take away from my brief time here is that it's deserving of the recognition it gets as Hungary's shiniest star. A European capital that isn't afraid to show its true colors, no matter how they're painted. In a continent that's got something for everyone, you'll find exactly what you need right here without some of the pretensions you might find over there. In a tale of two cities, Budapest is old and modern, touristy and underground, yours and mine.